Terence Nicholson teaches Kung Fu. He has a lot of students.
100 and something easy.
Nicholson says that teaching young students is a real push-pull thing.
I kind of look at them like windows that open and close, and so I just try to judge when I sense that their window, you know, like their mind and their sort of their learning, you know, like portal or whatever is open, and I just try to get as much in as I can, and when it's starting to close, I just ease up. In the context of a class, that could mean if I have 2 kids in an hour and they give me a solid half hour, at about 40 minutes I'm gonna stop, because at about 35 minutes that window's closed and they're like, okay, I'm ready for some Power Rangers or whatever, you know.
This Kung Fu black belt, who is also a musician and an artist, says that not all kids learn at the same pace.
I don't use a across the board sort of a progress scale. I use an individual progress scale. So one kid who, you know, like I said, was having some other issues. Remember, if there's a lot of people in there and I forget about you, I'm not forgetting about you because I don't care about you. You know, with him, even though I've had him longer than all of them, it's just sometimes there's too many people and my mind can't remember a lot. I got to give him his growth, you know, that's the pace he grows at. So just don't, you know, forget, remind me, okay? Okay. All right. At the same time, within my understanding of what his pace is, you know, he also knows that if he's not doing something that I know that he knows, then he knows I'm gonna be like, you gotta do it again. Good. Now, right now, see, now I'm gonna show you how you fix that. See where your shirt is? If your knee is this way, turn your body so I can see your shirt. I can't see your shirt that way. You gotta turn it the other way. More, right there.
Nicholson says he is mindful of skill and aptitude differences. He says he believes that he can teach both the physically gifted and the less physically gifted at the same time.
Max and there's a boy named Phoenix who had a red top on. You wanna go down back or you wanna wait? These guys are quick and their parents are athletic and they just pick up movement. So then the trick is, okay, so I got a room full of kids with different abilities. How do I encourage some of them? How do the ones that I see that really could compete in a year and do well, how do I push them without making the other ones feel like, well, I can't do what he can do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
For some children, the physical is a cinch, but they are weak in other areas.
There was one kid who's not here today, this kid Jediah, who's 6, and he's a little beast, you know. He's really, really good. The thing with Jediah is not his kung fu, is keeping his attitude in check, and keeping a 6-year-old who's got an ego, like, you know, developing a little ego about his skills. That's the level of, you know, that's where he really is. Physically, as far as the form, everything I've taught him so far, he does well. And he does it for a 6-year-old, he does it really well.
Nicholson says that when 12-year-old Stella came on board, she was on the timid side of things, but has since found her inner strength.
I remember you could throw a punch and she just like, think of this and now, you know, but what I didn't know and what we're discovering about her, she has this warrior spirit under that pinkness and little girl stuff, you know. She's really a fighter. And we'll go over the first few movements, man. She's diligent, you know. She was in the kids class, and I pulled her out of the kids class, you know, because, you know, she's her training, her attitude towards training. She's quiet, but she does everything, you know, that I ask her to do. And if I say, you know, practice this form 20 times, she'll practice it 20 times and then be like, I've practiced it 20 times.
This martial arts teacher says that just because a student is young doesn't mean that they won't succeed.
When he came in, I was like, anytime a kid's like 4, you know, I'm like, okay, we just got to see what it's going to do. You know, when they're 4 years old, you just got to see where their head is. And I don't know whether because his sister's a few years older and maybe she was showing him stuff, but he just has a student's mind, you know, where he'll watch what I'm doing and he'll emulate it the best he can. If he gets tired of doing it, he'll be like, you know, can I stop? You know, I'll be like, yeah. Cross, back. Good. These are good eggs here, you know. These are good eggs. And to the extent anyone is, you know, maybe not that much, but I can still work with them, you know, it's cool. I just run them. I just run them and run them and run them until they, you know, you got to help them be a student. Teach them how to be a student sometimes. Some of them have to learn how to be a student first.
At this Tacoma Park Kung Fu class, a group of differently abled children learn at their own pace. Their teacher, Terence Nicholson, says that he believes that is exactly how it should be. He encourages them to learn how to learn first, and then, he says, the results will come.
Step out, kick. Step out, big step. Good, kick. Step out, kick. Come on, Dave, step out, kick.